Hi, welcome back to Celebrating Culture. We're here at Antoine's in the Rex Room with Rick Blount. Rick, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So fill us in. Antoine's gets started in 1840, like the first restaurant in New Orleans.
Yeah, it's a bit of a misnomer maybe because my great-great-grandfather Antoine started Antoine's in 1840. But in the mid-1800s, restaurants were more a division of a hotel than they were a standalone business. You know, we hadn't invented things like refrigeration and menus and, you know, several things that you would think of in the restaurant business today.
Now, as the restaurant evolves, you have 4 major carnival clubs. We're in the Rex Room now. How did Antoine's become the place for Mardi Gras?
Even a very, very long time ago, Antoine's was sort of the meeting spot. You know, they were here talking about forming Mardi Gras. It just sort of was natural to have the next meeting here because they just had the previous meeting here. I don't think they moved here later.
Right.
It sort of grew.
It's just started here, they're having dinner.
Yeah.
They envisioned.
And envisioning putting together this today seems sort of a way out thing. How in the world could you ever envision something this big? That, you know, from nothing. I'm sure that the gentlemen that did that were just doing it over great food and a bottle of wine here at Antoine's.
So in those rooms, I mean, I'm looking at the Rex Room, you've got photos of the kings, you've got, I mean, you can come here and see a museum while you're having a dinner.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, I think that is so cool. We have the availability to this beautiful memorabilia.
Oysters Rockefeller, tell me this story.
Rockefeller's yet another one of those great culinary mistakes that worked out. My great-grandfather's name was Jules, and Jules had been sent to France to study cuisine and so on. And so he came back and he's taken over the restaurant from his dad, Antoine, and he's playing around in the kitchen with an escargot recipe. And the classic preparation for escargot was, butter and garlic and parsley, the bouillon sauce.
Sure, yeah.
And he's fooling around with that sauce, but he wants to make a better one. He says, that's great, we could copy the French and do the bouillon sauce, but boy, it'd be great if it was even tastier than that. And so he starts putting in all of those, today we call Creole vegetables, the onion and green onion and parsley and celery and so on. He starts putting all those vegetables into this butter garlic sauce, and the sauce tightens up. The sauce gets thick, which changed the nature of the sauce completely. And so he's sort of piping this new concoction that he's made in a pot onto escargot and serving it to his guests. And it was, reasonably successful. And by all crazy circumstances, New Orleans runs out of escargot.
That's what I heard.
Escargot were all grown in France and shipped as a protein here. And so he started using his sauce that he had on a local product that had a shell. So it was cooked the same way he was cooking the escargot. And so he put it on an oyster. He copied the oyster dish in the sort of the same cooking techniques in typical Creole fashion. He used an ingredient that was here with the same sort of processes that he would have used in Europe with a different product. I have no idea if Jules was the first guy to ever bake an oyster, but it also started this whole idea of, wow, it's cool to bake oysters, not fry them, not eat them raw, but actually create sauces and bake them. So it's a whole genre of cooking techniques and so on, in addition to just Rockefeller.
You get a number when you order the oysters, right?
Yeah, we still do that.
You still do that. What are you up to now?
I don't know, it's 4 million and something, but
4 million orders of oysters.
Yeah, that's more of a gesture. I have no idea how many oysters we've really served, but that's a good clicker, that's a good counter. I know that it's millions more than that.
And the recipe is kept a secret?
The recipe's still for fun. We've always sort of kept the recipe a secret. It turns out that it's really a difficult dish to do. It's a difficult sauce to make. It's very time consuming to make the sauce the way we do it. And we do keep that process still proprietary because it's fun to do that.
I want to thank you for being on the show. This is a fabulous place. It's one of my favorite places to come to in New Orleans. If you really want to experience a museum and fine dining at the same time, this is the place to be. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more of Celebrating Culture.